Well, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. And if you couldn't tell by this grin on my face and where I am standing, today is the first trip in the drop. This is the first coffee in the drop. We're gonna celebrate all the firsts together. First things first, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Michelle, and there's an adventure dog, Feeny, running around enjoying the desert somewhere. It's probably playing with some rocks behind me. But we travel all over Arizona, Utah, and Colorado. And now, thanks to the Teardrop camper, we have plans to travel so far beyond and work from her. So if you're new here and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, this is my brand new Teardrop camper, and today is the very first time I have camped in her. So I've had her since the beginning of January. It's like mid-February when I'm filming this, and we've spent the last month and a half moving in, doing some things to my car, hitch a receiver, putting a house battery in here, and just getting everything all set up to take her on her first trip. And then it's been very rainy, so we've been rained out of a few trips. But today we've got actually a nice cloudy day, which is great because it's going to be like 78, so a little warm. So it's perfect weather, and it's going to be a perfect day. So we are actually not too far from home. We are only about an hour away from home, and something I always recommend when you're new to adventuring, and this is new for me, towing a camper, so it's a new step in my adventure repertoire. We'll use that word, I like that word, is to kind of battle test things close to home. So I'm only about 45 minutes, hour away from home in a spot that I have camped plenty of times. This is Saddle Mountain BLM. It is one of my favorite places to camp. I started camping here in a tent. I've camped in several cars here, so I've been here a lot, but this was a great test to get her on the highway because I haven't really done like a longer haul highway. And then also to get her off-road a little. This is BLM land, so you kind of got to figure out and, scout. And this is my first time doing that. And I actually arrived last night, and it went really well. She pulls really well. She tows really well. And, you just got to build your confidence in things. It's going to be a long time till I'm really confident towing. But we did it, and the confidence is growing. So today, you're just gonna hang out and enjoy all the first. The first cup of coffee is going down. I'm getting ready to make some breakfast for us. We're gonna go on a walk and explore. I've got a book downloaded, just a nice chill camp day. And of course, this wouldn't be my video unless we did a little extra. And we have some special things to celebrate the Teardrop. Why can't I think of the word? Inaugural trip out into the desert. So come along, enjoy the ride. Let's do this. Oh, it's very hot. Very, very hot. I'll also give you a tour and show you some of my favorite things that I'm kind of discovering so far. First things first, we gotta get Fiend's breakfast. And I'm so obsessed with this little Wilder Dog combo that I have for him here. So we've got the Wilder Dog bowls, and then it's his little placemat that has mountains on it. It's so very cute. I don't know why I'm obsessed, but I'm obsessed. Alright, breakfast is served. Weird flex. I don't know if it's a flex. Hi, Boo Bear. But I have eaten pineapple every day for a year, over a year. Yeah, weird flex, but good. Pineapple with tahini, scrambled eggs. I forgot any hot sauce. What was I thinking, Boo? What was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking, but we're gonna eat breakfast. This is my new favorite invention. It's not an invention, like I invented this table and the idea of a coffee table. What is a coffee table to eat at? The Kelty chair is a little low, but we've got a remedy coming for that to work from, because this would be horribly uncomfortable to work from all day. But anyway, breakfast time. Cheers. Bon appetit. Alright, we have just been enjoying the morning, had a nice chill breakfast, and then I've just been reading this book. I did take the awning down. They're not notorious for liking really windy conditions, and I didn't have the guy lines on. There are guy lines, I just had it freestanding, and I didn't feel like getting the guy lines out, especially when I don't really need the shade because of the clouds. And it's actually a lot colder than it was supposed to be. So I did take it down. Actually super easy setup. I will do a little review video on the particular one I got because I did a lot of research. There's a lot that don't have really good reviews, you guys. So you gotta be kind of careful. I can't speak to the longevity, but the setup, especially as a solo person, it's really easy, and so far I really like it. I do have a zipper room for it that I haven't tested yet, but anywho, I put it in just because I'd rather not break it, because yeah, it's like really random big gusts of wind, and then pretty steady bursts, so I just figured better be safe, especially since I just don't feel like putting the guy lines in. We're gonna go on a walk and explore though, get some movement in. It's supposed to be run day. I don't have it in me, so we're just gonna do a nice long walk, take some tunes with us, and enjoy. So this spot behind me is actually the spot I was aiming for yesterday. It's one that I had pre-scouted out. Has a little more grass, a little less dirt. But it actually doesn't have the tree that like really shaded us yesterday during the heat of the day. But it would have made me actually like really back in. I would have had to really like actually maneuver in, which would have been good practice, but I can always come back. This spot, oddly enough, you can hear the shooting range that's downwind way more than my spot, and we're not that far from my spot. So super strange, which actually kind of makes me glad because we don't really necessarily like listening to shooting noises. Fiends gets a little wigged out. But anyhow, that was the spot. So for those of you who aren't from Arizona or the Southwest, because this is something I didn't know, BLM land stands for Bureau of Land Management land. Basically, it's the people's land. It's land that we can come out, camp on. The typical rule is if it looks like somebody has camped there before, there's a fire ring, you know, you can see over here, tire tracks, you're safe to camp there. This land, I have been coming here for 5-6 years, so longer than that, 6-7 years, and it has definitely taken a beating over the last couple of years. It's gotten really popular for digital nomads to come out here and stay for an extended amount of time. It's not too far from Quartzsite, so it's really taken a beating. I do see some signs of some of the pieces of private land that are bordering are for sale. And I do think that's because they're using a lot of this land for solar farms. So hopefully this land remains BLM, and hopefully even with its extensive use now, I mean, I'm adding to it, so there's not judgment there. People just continue to try to leave no trace, and instead of making it their home, treat it like a piece of land. Like, I'm not kidding you. I will try to find one. There are places that have legit walkways. People have made walkways around their rigs. It's wild to me. One of the best spots, there has been a guy in for 3 months. You're only supposed to stay for 14 days, so I think he probably moves, but he has been there all winter long. So people stay for an extended time. But anywho, we're gonna keep walking. So this one isn't horrible, but still, you're not supposed to be building walls of rock around your camp spots. Like, it should look untouched other than the firing. And somebody had a lot of fun. We just got back, and I have determined that I'm either dumber, scareder, or smarter than a lot of people. Because some of the rigs that I saw in places that I saw them, I wouldn't take my Subaru unloaded down there. And people had giant rigs. But anywho, it's pretty packed here. Which is good and bad, I guess. The reason I keep sharing about Leave No Trace, I guess I should explain that within this video before we move on for the rest of the day, is there are more and more people in Arizona, and there are more and more people getting out and about, which I love, because the outdoors is healing and nature and soothing, and I want people to experience the things I love. But I'm also seeing the negative impacts. So some people just don't know. So if you don't know and you're new to adventuring, camping, hiking, look up the Leave No Trace principles. And my summary of them is leave it better than you found it. So the spot that I'm in has some trash. I put it in my trash bag. I'm taking it with me. The spot that I'm in had some rocks that were making a walkway. I broke those down, just kind of piled them where other rocks were, trying to leave this space looking better. Obviously, I now have a rig, so I am gonna naturally leave a little bit more damage where I was. So I picked a spot that was very much broken in as a camp spot, so that when I leave, my rig didn't do additional damage. If you see a spot that looks like it had been pretty used and is slowly starting to recover, don't go to that spot. Try to choose maybe another spot that's a little more, you know, broken in but not damaged. So spread the love, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Spread the love on the spots and try to leave them better than you found them. So that's the only reason why I keep bringing it up, because I guess this spot is so special to me, and every year I see just a little more and more disrespect and damage to the land, and it is our job as adventurers and humans, and then especially somebody like me who's putting things on YouTube and possibly sparking people to get out and wanting to spark people to get out, to also just make sure, you know, to leave no trace. So there is a cool trace that I'm going to show you. Hold on. Okay, so this was tucked in here. I actually have no idea how old that can is. I just noticed the butter knife, so I'm going to take that. But I am going to leave this can because I have no idea how old it is, and it's kind of like, it's got a gun hole in it, but I don't know. I don't know. Yes, it's a trace, but to me that's kind of like a hint of its past. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not, but I am, because it looks more history. I'm going to actually Google it first and see how old that can is. Doesn't look like a brand that I've ever heard of. So anywho, that's it. That is my leave no trace reminder. Now we're done with it. Let's move on. I rarely do this, but, and I'm not saying that with judgment, I'm just saying that this is something I rarely do, so I'm kind of excited for it. I have a head cold. I've probably already mentioned that multiple times, and I sound like this. And I just don't have my energy that I normally have. So we got about 4 miles in on that little meander walk, but I'm tired now. So I'm gonna make an afternoon cocktail. And since this is our very first trip, our very special trip, I brought a special cocktail. So I did bring an even more special one for dinner. But my bestie and her husband went to Hawaii, and they brought me a bunch of these little rum bottles. I actually don't really like a lot of rum, but who doesn't like a rum and coke every once in a while? So we've got the spiced rum, which I had been saving. I used everything else. They went to Hawaii a hell of a long time ago. So I've had this. So we got a ice cold Coke, little spiced rum, and we're gonna have a cocktail and we're gonna read, because that sounds like an amazing, amazing rest of the day. Oh, needs more rum. I wasn't sure. I know I should probably use the whole bottle. Was I thinking not using the whole bottle? Wow, what kind of bartender would I be, guys? Cheers. Oh, there we go. That's better. Cheers. We've just been sitting here reading. Actually, I've been sitting here reading. Fiends has been laying in the rocks. But I did put the awning back up because the sun came out and it got super hot, and we're getting better at it. It's still really hard as a very short person with a very short wingspan to like get it without dropping it on one side, but it works and it's up and it's amazing. I don't know why I never put an awning on my car. If you are a car camper, get an awning. Just get an awning. Like, it extends the living space and it's comfortable and it makes it just feel more like a home. But anyhow, we've made it lunchtime. We're having a girl lunch today, total girl lunch. Got some deli slices that you got to do it right. Deli slice, apple, cheese, roll it up. Don't eat your hair. Very good. Let's have some pop chips. Or popcorners. I'm obsessed with these things. Anyhow, we've been reading the best book. This was actually a birthday gift for my nephew. So my nephew and his girlfriend nailed it. It's called Tomboy Bride. So it's actually about the tomboy mine just outside of Telluride. If you've been around this channel a hot minute, you know I love mines. And you know I spend an inordinate amount of time Googling mines, Google Earthing mines, and finding mines in the San Juans. I love the mines. So this book is actually about a bride. This first chapter is the Tomboy mine, and that is above Telluride. So it's just her journal, her story. So cool to hear how everything was explained, and she's got a way with words that resonates with me, of just the grandeur and the beauty and like the deeper meaning behind things. So really good so far. So that's what we're reading. We're gonna eat lunch. I love that I always say we, but Fiends will have some of this because you do have to pay. Here, you want cheese tax? Cheese tax! You do have to pay the cheese tax in my house. I also cut my finger. So we put the brand new emergency kit to the test too. I've got sharp knives, man. I got really, really sharp knives. I got new knives for here, so I know Mommy hurt herself. All right, back to chillaxing. Figured I'd catch you up to what we've been doing. We took a nap in the Teardrop when the sun was pretty much just in the Teardrop, so we came out. And this is what we're doing. I am laying flat out on the Kelty. He is laying flat out in the shade. Apparently this is what I need to do when I am sick, is just come camping and just lay around taking naps. I mean, honestly, it's a pretty epic first camp trip. I'm reading a great book, taking lots of naps. He's taking lots of naps. Pretty good. Eating, sleeping, and reading. 10 out of 10. All right, we're gonna get back to napping. Bye. We have pretty much been lazy all day. We have slept, we have ate, we have napped again, we have read. That book is amazing, Tomboy Bride. Amazing. And I'm pretty sure all of that finally helped, because about 30 minutes ago, I feel like my entire head drained and I feel so much better. I'm definitely still not going to be pushing it, but I am ready to finish up the first trip, inaugural trip. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am. The first trip with a proper celebration. And you know I'm going to be extra, y'all. You know I'm going to be extra. So let's do this. Of course I have plastic wine glasses. Do you really think I wouldn't? So, If you watched my original video on when the teardrop was delivered, I had champagne. That champagne was disgusting. And I don't know what that says about me, y'all. I really don't, because this is my favorite champagne, or I don't even think it's champagne, it's Spumante sparkling beverage. It's $7.99. And if you go to Walmart, you can get a Magnum for $9.99 at Walmart. So I'm not sure what that says about me, but this is my favorite. And so we are actually going to celebrate with this because I tried everything with that other stuff. I tried putting orange juice in. It was disgusting. It was horrible. So we're going to cheers with the Spumante, the Verdi. Soak that in and make sure you try it. So I had to go check and figure out why the GoPro was beeping. So let's celebrate the proper way with Verdi. Oh, I'm so bad at this. I always scare Phoebe. Cheers. Oh, see, that's the good stuff. The $7.99 good stuff. What can I say, y'all? I'm classy. And you can screw the lid back on. Right? Oh, the champagne didn't have that. Cheers. So the first thing I absolutely love about the full setup is this mat. Y'all, RVers, they are doing it right with their mats. My parents have a mat because they have like one of those big giant rigs, and I always loved it. I've never had a mat. Why did I never have a mat? I don't know. But I love the mat because like you can walk around barefooted. You don't get your feet all dirty. Fiends has some place to lay out of the dirt, although he still chooses the dirt, and that's where he's at. But the mat, 10 out of 10, best part of my new setup. Okay, not the best part, but it's up there. The other part of this setup that I obviously love is the awning. This is the Ironman 4x4, which I think I said earlier, and I'll do a whole review on it because I think it's worthwhile, because there's just not a lot of good reviews out there for awnings. But why I never put an awning on the Subi that does have roof racks, I don't know. But this is so nice to have. And honestly, it just makes it, even though I didn't have inclement weather, I had sun to protect, but it just makes it more like an outdoor living space versus me just hanging out in the great outdoors. So it definitely feels more like home and less like camping. The other add-on that I love is this coffee table. So this is the Dometic table. It actually raises up to like a full-size standing like prep table. Has a couple adjustments, a little bit higher, and then a coffee table. So I had stayed at an Airbnb that was camping land that had a coffee table already on it, and it was such a game changer. I was like, why? Why have I never camped with a coffee table? The main reason is I didn't have room. So I was always packing my Subaru up to like the brim. So I really only had room for my prep table, and that was it. Bringing something like this that folds in half and it doesn't really like pack down real well wouldn't have been an option for me. I actually just put this on the mattress when I'm all packed up, so it just stays right in the teardrop. But such a game changer. You can not only just sit here and prep, but when you're eating, you can also sit and eat and have your stuff out. You can obviously sit with your feet up, which is like the most bougie ass way to sit and camp and drink your champagne out of your plastic cup. I am just having way too much fun with this. But a coffee table, you can get this at REI because it is pricey. It's actually one of the priciest things I bought was a coffee table. Please don't judge me. But you could actually get it at REI, and you can, if you wait till you get the 20% off and then your member benefits, I actually got this for a really good price, but it's pricey if you buy it outright. So wait for the REI sales. Dometic does a sale like once or twice a year too, but REI, the best one with the member benefits as well. All right, so moving inside, nothing has really changed, but I've noticed some things that I do need. So I'm still on the hunt for a basket that will fit up here. I have this like little basket with my keys and watch and stuff right here, but I want a bigger basket so when I get in for the night and I'm putting in Feeney's e-collar, his regular collar, the GoPro batteries, whatever, I have kind of a catch-all right there, chargers, things like that, so that it's in a basket versus just kind of like sploon over there, which is what it was last night. And honestly, that just kind of annoys me when I have to like move something to find everything. And I think that's your like number one thing with small space living is being really organized, which brings me to these. So I always knew these were gonna be a bit of a problem, and I didn't try to solve it yet because I needed to be in here. One, I have a lot of hats. So that's kind of my personal problem, but if I'm going away for like 2 weeks, I'm probably gonna have 4 or 5 hats. I know. Don't judge me, okay? Right now, the packing cube situation is seeming to work. It's just a bit annoying to take in and out all the time. So I know my number one rule is gonna just be always staying organized, but right now I feel like I don't have a way to stay organized. So I'm gonna try to find some sort of bin system, like plastic bin system maybe, that I can like roll up pants in, and then maybe a deeper basket that I can roll up coats in. I don't know, because if like you look on this side, it's just literally everything thrown in here and shoved in here, and like my laptop's in there as well, which that's always going to be in there, and eventually I'm going to have a router and stuff. So I think I feel like this side's going to need to be like tech, and I'm going to need to figure out a way to organize this side really well. I think for long trips, I'll probably have a duffel bag in the car, but I still need to figure this out because it's just a lot of wasted space. A lot of wasted space. So any tips, drop them down below for me, please. Also, as predicted, the fenders, this is why I got the Jeep fenders, are fantastic for storing things, for setting things. So I just have my Bose, and then this is a light. And this doesn't need to sit there. I was just drinking some water on our walk. But this is like great to have this. I had, you know, your drink on it. I can't wait to camp with friends. I'm gonna make this a bourbon bar. Like I'm gonna do a fancy cocktail bar on here. I'm just so excited for that. Probably do some twinkle lights or something to just have something super special for the first time I camp with friends. But these are 10 out of 10. This side is definitely the more like light and pretty, and then the other side is actually like really useful. So far how I have everything set up from my previous bit. Did I show? I didn't show you, did I? I didn't show you the final. Let me show you the final, y'all. So pretty much how I set this up at home is actually really functional. So I did my research and I did my thinking, and it works really, really well. The only surprise was I had planned to have my Dometic water system on the fender, but the fender is too tall for the hose, so it doesn't fit. But actually this has worked out really well because at night when I shut this, I just leave that here, and that way I can get Fiend's water and stuff super easy. Not that it matters that it's here, I could do that on the fender too, but actually it's been nice for cooking and stuff right here, and it doesn't get in the way. So honestly, not a big deal that it's not on that side. But let me show you the Galley. Did I show you the Galley? Oh, well, if I did, here it is again. All right, so top shelf of the Galley, we have knives. Yes, I have a lot of knives. I like knives. Kitchen gadgets, and then more kitchen gadgets. Not meant to be separated by color here, but see, there we go, we're not. But this just happened to be the color of stuff that I bought because I like bright colors. And I have my awesome dip bowls from my favorite little Mexican market. Next one down, I have plates and bowls. These are just like the plastic plates and bowls. I have coffee, This is a pour over that you saw this morning, and then I have a couple of cups shoved back in there. And then on this shelf, we have silverware, and we have spices, so this goes in here when we travel. And then these have to be moved because they do fly out, but you know, you always have to have your tahine, people. So these do have to be slightly moved around, use versus movement. Yeah, that makes sense. Then I have my paper towel holder. We have the in-hour fridge, which I'm iffy on, guys. I'm iffy on this bad boy. We'll see. And then I have my Coleman Cascade single burner. So this is actually propane. 8,000 BTUs. This thing's amazing. Amazing. Highly recommend. The only thing, it doesn't have a carrying case. So for me, it doesn't matter because it stays here. But I think if I was moving back and forth, like, it comes apart. That would annoy me. And then shoved under here is we have one of the Cedillo crates, which has pots and pans. There's a mopine here. My cutting boards are here. Fire extinguisher, emergency kit. Of course, my wine glasses. Then I have a thing to hold extra wine. So yeah, this kind of all just fits perfectly in there. So the one thing I didn't really foresee doing this way, but actually works really well. So when this table is down, keep getting extra protein in my champagne. By the way of gnats, there weren't any gnats, and now they're all here because I have champagne. Annoying. When this table's out, there's actually a lot more space right here because it slides right here. So I didn't foresee this happening, but it has become like my face washing and like skincare area. So I have like my body wipes and my travel skincare tucked in there, and then of course you have like your camp clean stuff, and that's kind of just shoved there, just making sure I'm not blocking the intake for the fan. But the reason why I like it, because I also have like my washcloth here, is because the water's right here, and then I can put everything out and I can just do my skincare, and I'm looking and it's pretty, and then I can just slide it right back there. Did not foresee this being where that would happen, but it makes sense because the water's there. I am going to have a shower tent, which I'm going to show you in a second, talk about what I decided, but this, it just works really nice. Just works really nice. So I feel like I need to get like a stand-up, like a foldable mirror so that I can do everything here, because actually it would probably sit really well like right here, and then I could actually see. So did not see this area turning into my self-care station, but it just works. It just works. And in the morning I can drink my coffee while I do it because I have, just works. Again, did not see that coming. Apparently all that beeping was because the GoPro was hot, so I had to let it cool down. We switched cups because I was bringing all the gnats, so we needed a lid. Like there were literally 100 gnats, and it also got chillier, so we put some more clothes on. So let's continue with the back of the teardrop and what we are actually going to do. So part of the reason why I didn't start with a shower tent or bathroom tent, so to speak, is because I wasn't sure what I wanted, and since I couldn't really figure it out, I wanted to wait. So originally my plan was to buy a pop-up tent and DIY some epic doorway that connected so that I had kind of like an indoor-outdoor spiel. We're not gonna do that for 2 reasons. One, I'm really bad at DIY and just really impatient, and I don't want to waste $100 tent and F it up. But 2, I'm realizing I don't want to carry a lot of extras. The biggest reason I got a teardrop, a camper, was so that things were attached. So I did a lot of research and found a version of a shower tent that attaches to the awning that I like for one main reason. It's where the zipper is. So mounted, it should come out here. Most shower tents, your opening is on the side away from the vehicle. This one is on the side, and there are 2 zippers. So in theory, I should be able to open it, unzip it, and slide in. Or leave it unzipped, and be able to slide in and out at night to go to the bathroom, or, you know, in the morning to change, you know, just to kind of slide in or out. If that theory of mine doesn't pan out, you can also, with this particular model, you could also fully unstrap it, so I could possibly put the doorway on the back. I don't really want to do that because then when I'm trying to go to the bathroom during the day, I do want them on the side. So some of it's just gonna depend on where it comes out, but I've measured. I literally think it should come out pretty much flush with these. So I should be able to open the door still because it should be around here. So I just won't stake this flap right here so that I can kind of open the door. We're gonna see. But that's the goal. That is the plan, to have a mat back here and then have the shower tent here that mainly will just be used for compostable toilet, one of like the buckets basically. And just a place to change, possibly shower someday. I don't know, but I just really need, if I'm gonna be sleeping in here, especially at KOAs and stuff, and I wanna go to the bathroom at 5 a.m. I don't wanna have to like figure out how to leash fiends in the middle of the night. Not 5 a.m. I'm awake at 5 a.m. Like 1 a.m. I don't wanna like, and then walk to the bathroom. I want a toilet right here. And then just like in a situation like here, I am wide open and I've been having to like hike it over there to go to the bathroom. So yeah, just kind of want my own little bathroom and to not have to dig holes anymore. But this, I actually moved it for a photo. But this has been where my toilet paper and my aligners in their container have been sitting, Vaseline. So it's been more of like the bathroom fender, which I kind of expected. This is just deterrent, safety deterrent. I don't have a pin on my hitch yet that locks. I haven't found the right one that fits. It's a wily little size. I've ordered 2 that haven't fit, so I think I'm like in between now, so I should be able to find one. So this is just kind of a deterrent just for when I went on my little hike today. But the cool thing was I could kind of see her from everywhere I went. So anyhow, that's the next major step for here. I did just order something fun for Fiends and I. Actually not, it's fun, but yet it's necessary. I can't work from the Kelty chair. It's like literally sinking into abyss because it's the low one. So I can't really work from it. So I needed to find a chair that would work really well to work from. So I did just order that and something special for Fiends. So we'll give it a little bit and then we're gonna get this setup going. And then she's ready. Like she's ready. Like all the things. We have all of the things. So this was just kind of that last piece that I hadn't figured out yet. The brand of the tent that I'm going with is a Kick-Ass. I love the name. It's kind of funny, my front tent and this one, or awning, are going to be ones I had never heard of. So it pays to kind of do your research and take your time and look around. So that, my dears. Oh, and I didn't tell you how great my privacy curtains are working. They're fantastic. And they kept this side nice and cool yesterday. The sun was beating down and I had them on both, kept it nice and cool. So those worked. So my DIY worked. Just not pretty. Just not pretty. My finger. All right, it is time for dinner. And I'm very sad I forgot to marinate the steak. So we're just gonna use all the seasonings for the steak. That's basically what we're gonna do. So we have potatoes diced up, well, quartered up in olive oil and this amazingness. So usually I make my own garlic butter, like at home with a shit ton of garlic basically. But this stuff is really great for when you're traveling. It's just super easy. This is Kerrygold. Boursin has one as well. So we're gonna let those go. They're gonna take about 8, 9 minutes. So we're just gonna let them go. And we're gonna season up the steak. This is Feeney's steak. This is my steak. So I'm gonna put all the seasonings on mine. And then when everything's done, I'll just put, it's kind of frozen. That's the only reason why otherwise I would give it to him raw. So I just wanna get it a little warm so it's not frozen. So maybe I am changing my mind about the cooler. I don't know. The top just doesn't feel cold, but I'm gonna season these up, let these go. Why did I just do that? and then I'll show you when it's all together. I'm gonna make a little bowl. I'm a bowl person. I like things mixed around, so I'll show you as we get there. Meat in there. Added just a little bit more butter, and then on the meat I put, gosh, at the end of the day when these trucks leave, I swear that's when it gets loud. I just put steak seasoning, salt, pepper, onion, garlic, crushed red pepper flakes, steak seasoning, I think I said that. Usually I would do a marinade of like soy sauce, sriracha, little garlic. Probably that's about it. Maybe Worcestershire sauce. But I forgot, so we just use a lot of garlic butter. I mean, not so bad. Would have liked more of a sear on the steak, but you know, it is what it is. And what it is looks magical. So I have a bed of arugula for health. Get all those scrumptious steak bits. The final masterpiece. Some good aged blue cheese. I'm making my best friend very sad right now because I used blue cheese, but got some more champagne because I'm gonna take these shoes off. Hallelujah. We are gonna eat this amazing celebratory dinner. Beans already ate his steak faster than I could even record it, so he had his little extra special, and now I'm gonna enjoy mine. It's a very cloudy sunset, but we're gonna still enjoy it nonetheless. We got the teardrop! Sometimes I do the silliest things, but truly, I have been in my feels this whole trip. I've cried happy tears. I keep looking at it and can't believe it's mine, reminiscing. And so, like, this isn't just for YouTube. This is literally me celebrating. Oh my God. So good. Celebrating a dream come true. And I just wanted to bring you along with me. So, bon appetit. Oh, that's very dark. Here we go. It's gonna be seance style. But that's the, is that better? There we go. Not so seance, but not so dark. All right, so we are cuddled up in bed. We're getting ready to turn on a movie and just relax. But I have one more special treat to celebrate our first teardrop camping trip. And for my 40th birthday, my bestie made it an entire teardrop camping adventure theme. And so believe it or not, I saved 2 teardrop cookies. So I ate one the day that I got the teardrop, and then I kept this one in the freezer specifically for the very first night in the camper. So we are going to settle in with this adorable little cookie, which, believe it or not, is still good. The one a month ago that I ate for when I got the teardrop, but it's still good. Still great. You just gotta freeze them on time. So we're gonna settle in with this. I'm gonna eat this. He's not. I'm gonna open that a little bit because if you can see the flies, we do have a few, so hopefully they'll escape through there. We're gonna cozy in and we're gonna enjoy the fact that we are safely tucked in to our cozy home on wheels, our comfy bed. He can settle in on some pillows, and we're gonna watch a movie. And that's gonna be it for this trip. We're just gonna enjoy the evening, call it a day, and just, I'm rambling, y'all, but just, I'm so happy. you right now. This is everything I dreamt and everything I wanted for both of us, and I'm so excited. I keep already thinking about trips I can extend and things I can do because I want to make this our adventure mobile and our adventure summer, our adventure life. So I'm in my feels, so I'm going to be in my feels. I'm going to eat my cookie while I'm in my feels, watch a movie, we're going to go to bed. And guys, we'll see you on the next adventure, wherever the road may take us, in our little teardrop. It's just not blue.